Most people don't retire broke because they didn't work hard. They retire broke because they didn't work strategically. The system we grow up in trains us to earn, spend, and repeat, but not to compound, invest, or build. And when life starts moving faster with bills, kids, debt, and lifestyle creep, we forget one crucial truth. Money doesn't grow from effort alone. It grows from patience, time, and compounding. People reach their 50s or 60s and realize that decades of work produced little security, not because they didn't save, but because their savings never worked for them. They put money in savings accounts that barely beat inflation, or worse, lived paycheck to paycheck under the illusion that retirement was something far away. Then one day, it isn't. And that's where the tragedy happens, a lifetime of labor with nothing to show but stress and regrets. But it doesn't have to be this way. Most people don't have a clear system to build wealth that compounds over time. And that's where the 8532 rule of compounding changes everything. The 8532 rule of compounding completely flips this story. It's a simple, actionable structure designed to help anyone at any age or income build real wealth that compounds and supports them in retirement. It's a system built around four essential pillars. This rule combines discipline, strategy, and sustainability, the three ingredients most people ignore. Because the truth is, retirement is about having the freedom to choose what to do next without worrying about bills, inflation, or running out of money. So let's break this rule down. Before that, kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. The first 8 in the 8532 rule represents the 8 years you give yourself to build your foundation, both financially and personally. These 8 years are the most critical phase of your wealth-building journey because they determine the compounding engine that will run for the rest of your life. Most people underestimate what they can achieve in 8 years of focused effort. Your foundation years are when you start planting seeds, not only in your investments but in your mindset, habits, and skills. These years aren't about how much you make. They're about how disciplined you are with what you make. Your main goal in these 8 years is to build 3 core structures: a stable income flow, a strong savings and investment system, and a lifestyle that costs less than you earn. It's where compounding truly begins, not only in numbers but in behavior. Every time you choose to invest instead of spend, you're compounding discipline. Every time you learn something new that increases your earning potential, you're compounding knowledge. Every time you stay consistent instead of distracted, you're compounding focus. These are the invisible foundations of financial freedom. To break it down, years 1 and 2 are about getting your financial footing right, paying off high-interest debt, setting up an emergency fund, and understanding your monthly cash flow. Years 3 and 4 are about investing consistently, no matter how small, in assets that compound, like index funds, dividend-paying stocks, or retirement accounts. Years 5 to 7 are where you start accelerating your growth, increasing contributions, and refining your financial systems. By year 8, you're shifting from survival to structure, where money now starts working for you instead of you working for money. These 8 years are your runway to financial liftoff. During these 8 years, automation becomes your best friend. Automate your savings, automate your investments, automate your bills. The less emotion involved in your financial decisions, the more consistent you'll be. This is also when you start tracking your net worth and setting measurable goals. Every dollar you save, every debt you clear, and every investment you make, it all becomes a seed that multiplies over the next decades. The more intentional you are during this phase, the smoother your landing into retirement will be. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. You don't have to be a financial expert or earn a 6-figure income to build a strong foundation. You just have to stay consistent and committed for 8 focused years. That's enough time to change your financial DNA, from spender to investor, from anxious to confident, from surviving to thriving. The 8 years are your transformation phase, the time where compounding begins quietly in the background, while you build the habits that will one day fund your freedom. Once your foundation is strong, the next phase of the 8532 rule focuses on the 5 compounding investments that will power your retirement. These are the engines of true wealth, assets that grow, pay you, and protect you even when you're no longer actively working. Compounding isn't about earning fast returns. It's about earning sustainable returns that multiply over time. These 5 investments work together to form a diversified system of growth, income, and security. 1. Index funds. These are the simplest yet most powerful compounding tools for retirement. Index funds allow you to own a slice of the entire market, automatically diversified across hundreds or thousands of companies. Over decades, they've consistently outperformed most active investors because they eliminate emotions, timing, and guesswork. By investing monthly into index funds and letting dividends reinvest, your money compounds quietly in the background, beating inflation and generating exponential growth. It's not exciting in the short term, but in 20 years, it's unstoppable. Index funds require zero effort, have low fees, and are the best way for everyday investors to build wealth passively. 2. Retirement accounts, the 401k, IRA, or pension funds. These accounts are compounding machines wrapped in tax advantages. The more you contribute early, the longer your money compounds tax-free or tax-deferred. Many employers even match your contributions. That's free money. Consistency is the key. Even small, regular contributions grow massively over time. The earlier you start, the less you have to contribute later. Retirement accounts protect your future self from the financial pressures that crush most people in their 60s. 3. Dividend-paying stocks. Dividend stocks are like your personal cash flow machines. They not only grow in value but also pay you regular income that can be reinvested or used in retirement. The beauty of dividends is that they create a feedback loop of compounding. Your investments earn dividends, you reinvest those dividends, and they start earning dividends themselves. Over time, your portfolio turns into a self-funding system that pays you even when you stop working. Look for companies with a long history of increasing dividends. They're the backbone of financial independence. 4. ETFs and REITs exchange. Traded funds and real estate investment trusts give you diversified exposure to various sectors while still benefiting from compounding. ETFs work like index funds but can be traded easily, giving you flexibility. REITs, on the other hand, allow you to invest in income-producing real estate without actually owning properties yourself. They pay out regular dividends, which can be reinvested to accelerate your compounding growth. Over the long run, both ETFs and REITs offer balance, growth, and income, 3 pillars of a strong retirement portfolio. 5. Insurance and trust funds. Wealth isn't just about what you make, it's about what you protect. Life insurance and trust funds act as your financial shield, preserving your assets and ensuring your loved ones are secure even after you're gone. Certain insurance policies, like whole life or index universal life, can accumulate cash value over time, which compounds tax-deferred. Trust funds, on the other hand, help you pass wealth efficiently while minimizing taxes and ensuring your assets are managed according to your wishes. These tools add longevity and security to your wealth. When you blend these 5 investments strategically, you create a financial system that runs on autopilot. Each of them compounds differently, some through price appreciation, others through reinvested income, but together they create unstoppable momentum. This is what the wealthy understand that most people don't. Compounding is not about choosing one vehicle. It's about diversifying the engines that power your future. By mastering these 5 investments or any other investments that fit you, you secure your retirement. You no longer worry about what if, because your future is built on principles that have compounded wealth for centuries. Before you can compound wealth, you must first protect it, and that's where your emergency savings come in. Too many people skip this step, then end up selling their investments prematurely when life hits them with unexpected expenses. Emergencies are not a matter of if, they're a matter of when. And when they come, you either have the cash ready or you go into debt and destroy years of progress. The 3 in the 8532 rule represents the 3 emergency savings accounts you should maintain in a high-yield savings account while building your retirement investments. Most people treat emergency funds as a one-size-fits-all concept, but in reality, different emergencies require different levels of access and purpose. When your entire safety net is tied up in one account, you end up using long-term money for short-term issues or worse, withdrawing from investments that were meant to compound for years. The first emergency savings account is your short-term buffer. This account covers 3 to 12 months of essential living expenses, things like rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, and basic needs. It's your shock absorber for minor disruptions such as car repairs, a medical bill, or temporary job loss. Keeping this in a high-yield savings account ensures quick access while still earning some interest. This fund gives you peace of mind, the kind that prevents panic when small emergencies hit. Without it, even a flat tire or broken appliance can trigger financial chaos and force you to use credit cards or loans that disrupt your long-term plan. The second emergency savings account is your medium-term safety fund. This one is designed for larger, less frequent events. It's not for your daily life, but for your portfolio. Let's say the market crashes, or your rental property goes vacant, or you face an unexpected tax bill. This fund prevents you from withdrawing your investments at the worst possible time. It gives you the strength to stay invested during downturns, which is crucial because panic selling is the #1 killer of compounding. This account should have enough to cover at least 6 to 12 months of your investment contributions or related expenses. Think of it as the buffer that protects your compounding engine from emotional decisions. The third emergency savings account is your long-term security reserve. This one is your in-case-of-crisis vault. It's the financial firewall between you and the unexpected major medical expenses, family emergencies, or global crises that might disrupt your income or force early retirement, or even opportunities that require immediate liquidity, like moving to a new place or buying a property during a market dip. This account ideally holds 12 to 18 months of essential living expenses and should be stored in a separate HYSA or even short-term treasury bonds for stability and protection against inflation. Think of it as your financial fortress, not something you want to touch, but something that keeps your foundation unshakable. By splitting your emergency funds into 3 distinct accounts, you create a system that aligns with real life. You're no longer reacting, you're prepared. And preparation keeps your compounding engine safe from unnecessary withdrawals, emotional decisions, and debt traps. People underestimate how much protection matters in wealth building, but one big emergency can undo years of growth if you're not ready. The 3 emergency savings rule gives you that readiness. It ensures that even during storms, your investments keep compounding quietly in the background while you handle life confidently up front. Finally, the 2 in the 8532 rule represents the 2 evergreen high-in-demand skills you should build before or during your retirement years, skills that you can continue doing for income, purpose, and fulfillment long after you leave the traditional workforce. Retirement is often misunderstood as the end of work, but true retirement is the freedom to do work you enjoy without financial pressure. The reality is, many people retire financially but are not mentally ready. They lose structure, identity, and drive. The key to staying fulfilled, secure, and growing even in retirement is to have skills that never expire. The first evergreen skill should be something that compounds your mind and experience, a skill that leverages what you already know but allows you to adapt it to a changing world. This could be financial literacy, digital entrepreneurship, consulting, content creation, investing, or teaching others what you've mastered over your career. The digital age has made it possible to share your knowledge with global audiences. A retired engineer can teach online. A teacher can start a tutoring platform. A manager can create a consulting business. A creative can build an online brand. The point is not to start something new from scratch, but to evolve what you already know into something that generates income and impact without depending on a 9-to-5 job. The second evergreen skill should be one that compounds with time and technology, something that keeps you relevant no matter how the world changes. Think about skills like digital marketing, data analysis, personal branding, writing, coding, or even public speaking. These are timeless because they thrive in both online and offline economies. Even after retirement, having at least one tech-aligned or communication-based skill gives you leverage. You can freelance, teach, advise, or build small digital assets that generate passive income. The goal isn't to work hard forever. It's to stay useful, curious, and valuable in an ever-evolving world. These two evergreen skills act as your post-retirement safety net, but not just financially. They protect your sense of purpose, because one of the silent killers of retirement is stagnation, feeling useless or irrelevant after decades of contribution. Skills give you structure, growth, and independence. You don't have to depend on your savings alone. You become your own renewable resource. That's what makes this step so powerful. While your investments compound financially, your skills compound personally. Together, they ensure your retirement is not just long, but meaningful. The 8532 rule is a long-term blueprint for financial freedom, built on structure, consistency, and purpose. It transforms wealth building from guesswork into a guided system where every decision compounds over time, financially and personally. By focusing on discipline, protection, and continuous growth, this rule helps you create lasting stability and independence, not through luck or timing, but through patience and direction. It's a reminder that freedom isn't achieved by chasing quick gains, but by building something that grows stronger year after year, a foundation that pays you, protects you, and empowers you to live life on your own terms. If you found this helpful, kindly like the video and share it with someone who may need this knowledge.